Oh, there we go. Hi.
Hey, good morning, Bev. Good to see you and wonderful to have the next few minutes with you. And today we're going to be talking about criticism because it can be one of the most destructive, harmful things in a relationship. We do have positive criticism and we do have negative criticism. So perhaps we'd like to start off with the best way maybe to handle positive criticism or negative criticism. What do you think, Bev?
Yeah, good.
What might someone do if they feel they're being criticized?
Okay. So before we go to that, I just wanted to offer that criticism has two sides, as far as I see it. One is I'm feeling criticized, and the other is I'm doing the criticizing.
Yeah.
So when looking at those two sides, when I feel criticized, one thing I always offer my clients is feel it. What does this feel like? And then to look for the truth, the bit of truth in what that person is saying. There's always a little bit of truth that when I have healthy boundaries, I can look at. Either it'll go splat, on my boundary, and no, that's not mine, that's really yours, or some of it will resonate, and I should take time with that. And I might say to the other person, you know what, I need to take some time out, think about this, and I will come back to you. Let me stop there. When I receive criticism, what would you like to say about that?
Absolutely, Bev, and I'm coming from the same place for you, as we quite often, mostly do come from that same stance, and it wouldn't be seen as criticism to you if it didn't hurt you in some way. So absolutely, there is something going on inside of you, and quite often in a relationship we are avoiding talking about the real issue, and so we will often, from the criticizer, that person will criticize the other person because they've got something going on inside, but they're unable to project that. And the person who's being criticized, this is how I see it and share it with my clients, they are not able to see it for what it is. They don't want to go to that place that perhaps what that person has said, as you said, there is truth in that. There is truth in what they're saying, and they don't want to address that. So they will say it's all about the other person's picking on me or being mean to me, etc., etc. So the real thing here is we're not able to be objective, and it is a very, especially in relationships where we've been together for a long time, it becomes a very convenient way of avoiding the big issue, because there is an issue there if we constantly feel criticized or the other person is constantly criticizing us. They will be sort of symptomatic, and we need to get below that surface to see what the real problem is going on, because it is a major issue, Bev, isn't it, in relationships?
Right. So as I was saying, yes, that exactly, that there's the one side where I receive criticism and I feel that hurt, and where I want to be able to say, let me look at this and see what fits me and what isn't. That's when my boundaries are healthy, and that's a whole another conversation. The other part is when I criticize in a relationship. When I criticize, there are a few things that come up for me. Number one, we have forgotten that the person we're in the relationship with is someone we love. It's not the enemy. So we're chipping away at someone that we're seeing who's triggered us, and we're seeing someone else, possibly a mother or a critical father, in our lives. The thing that I would like to offer is to bring that up to presence, to notice this is not my mother or my father who's using this critical voice. This is my partner. And maybe behind my criticism is actually a request. And what is it I want to request from him or her? What is it that I want? And then the third part, the reason we criticize, I think, for some of us, it's a way of processing. We might criticize not directly. I might come to you to criticize my husband because I feel, as you said, sometimes we can't speak about the real issues here.
Mm-hmm.
And that critical voice is also comes from a much younger place. So I might take that younger voice. I know it is criticism, but that's my natural default because I've been so criticized when I was a child. Then that's my language of love. But then I might bring it not even directly to my partner, to someone else, because I'm trying to process what's actually going on here.
Beautifully put, Bev. And if you take the time to listen, if you are criticizing someone, your mother or your father's voice, or a caregiver, or someone who was very influential in your life in those early years, because that's where our programming, is all given to us. And if you take the time just to listen, you will notice, oh my goodness, my mother used to do that to me all the time. And now I find myself, speaking with the same words and the same tone of voice. And I said I was definitely not going to do this. And it is taking that time, I truly believe, to be able to understand our own insecurities, because this is where it's all coming from. Either you're criticizing or you're being criticized, and it is where we feel very vulnerable, and we do feel insecure within ourselves, and so we will project out, and it can often come across very, very, in a very angry way, if you like. But underneath that, there's a very scared, vulnerable, perhaps insecure child who is trying to get a different message across, but it comes across as being very critical, as opposed to being able to objectively put forward a request of what I would like, what I need, etc. And that's where the communication again breaks down. And there is no clear boundary at all. The boundaries are completely broken down for both people. So if we want to learn how to handle criticism in the first place, I always say to start with listening. Listening is very, very important. And if you can listen, you may well hear the person criticizing you, their intention. And sometimes the feedback is positive, and sometimes it is destructive, and we need to understand what is really going on. But we cannot do that if we're not listening. And instead of just flying off the handle and getting your reply before you've even understood what's going on with that criticizing, with that sentence, take some time, take a step back, physically take a step back and ask yourself, what is going on here? Why am I so hurt? Why are they attacking me? Because as soon as someone is attacking you and you feel they're attacking you, your defenses will go up naturally to protect yourself, that vulnerable part of yourself. So that could be helpful just in the very first instance. Bev, what do you think?
Yeah, so agree. Firstly, I just wanted to reiterate that point that you made about often that critical voice is critical to myself. I'm criticizing you, but there's something in me that I'm unhappy with. And our best friend is our breath, to always come back. I love that. Take a step back, just breathe. And Louise, I know these things sound a little bit voodoo, but what they really are, they need practice. Like sometimes I hear people say, but Beverly, people don't talk like that in the real world. Yes, because we're not taught to be relational. Mm-hmm. So if we can just practice, because these things take practice so much in our lives, we are willing to practice, right? Mm-hmm. We practice till we can ride a bicycle. We practice till we can walk. But with relationships, we don't think we need to practice. So I would invite people to just take a breath. And I love that, step back a minute. and think about your response, and be kind and tender to the times you don't. When you get into that fight and you're defensive, that's okay. But even at the end of the day, if you can just look back and say, how could I have managed that differently? Just to bring it all up to awareness, where you're communicating in a way that's not actually serving you and bringing you closer to your partner. It's pulling you apart.
Beautiful, Bev. Yeah, it is. It's I love that, the way you've just addressed that. And the breath is so important, as we know. And it is about your response. If you begin to respond differently to that criticism, you will get a different response back. And I love how you've put, Bev, that people, often people don't work at relationships or practice at relationships because they just happen. Well, surely you should know what to do. This is instinctive. This is it. It's actually not, because you take that on from the relationships you've seen, and this is all, subconscious. It's all happening subliminally, and you will just act out on some level as to what you've seen, and you're not really being yourself, because perhaps you're being your mother, your father, your caregiver, your teacher, your friend, or whatever experiences you've had in life as to how you've seen relationships, happen in your lives. That's all you know. So absolutely practice until it becomes natural. So you don't have to practice it forever. It's just like anything. If you want to create anything so it comes to you naturally and you don't have to think about it, driving a car, playing a musical instrument, whatever these things are, that you just want to be able to do that thing without thinking, you have to practice it. And so this is the absolute key. Through repetition, you've got to practice not answering straight away, taking that step back, taking a breath and thinking, what could I do differently? What's really going on? What am I really feeling here? What message do I really want my partner, to understand, to get? Thank you, Bev.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So we would both love, as many comments. We'd love we love interaction, Bev and I, because the more interaction we have, the more we can serve you to what's actually going on in your life, because we pick topics here that probably you'll see happening in most of your relationships. And the more detailed we can get to help you as a listener, the more helpful we can be. So we do love replies back, interaction, and how we can help you best. So thank you so much for joining me. As always, Bev, you're a hugely valuable inspiration part of my life, and I know from many, many of us are listeners here. So thank you. Enjoy your day, everyone else, and have a fabulous week. Take care, Bev. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.